Not everything has to be complex, difficult, and abstract. In this video, I'm going to share a story about that statement and the reasons why that is so. So, the other day, I was feeling very down. I had just gotten back from Colombia, from Mexico City, and I was gone for more than 2-3 months. I hadn't been able to sleep in my own bed. I was just so tired from traveling. And to top it off, I had been laid off maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and that's why I've been traveling. So there was a lot of changes. And I almost forgot, I also got sick. So with all of that new changes, my body being not in the best condition as well, I was just asking myself, why was I feeling so down? Why was I feeling so lazy? Why was I feeling not the best? So I just kept thinking, and I had a lot of time on my hands too because I was sick, I couldn't really exercise, I couldn't go out, I wanted to rest up. So I had a lot of things and thoughts in my head. But finally, I got better. Maybe in about 2 weeks, I just slept better. I had the fundamentals in check. Sleeping, like I mentioned, my food was better, it wasn't as oily. It was just basic food, just chicken, rice, soup. I got a lot of water in. I took some medicine for my cough and my fever. And I just got a lot of sleep and rest. So finally, I got better. And I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, I felt much better. Why was everything needed to be difficult and complex? Why did I keep thinking? And I had all these different thoughts in my head. Maybe because the new year passed, and I typically get existential when the new year passes, and my birthday passes, and none of that happened. I was thinking maybe it was more of a delayed reaction to that. And I was thinking maybe it was this other thing because of the job, because I was traveling, I was tired from traveling, I was mentally taxed out, all these different thoughts. But in reality, all I had to do was check the fundamentals. Again, the sleep, food, exercise, and just rest in general. So why do we want the complex things? Why do we want the abstract? Why do we want the difficult? And the first thing that I came up with is that, first, it's not that we want the more difficult things. I think it's more that we reject the easier answer, the easier way out. There's always that assumption that we take the path of least resistance. Sometimes the easier path is the right path. And there is another assumption built into this, and that is the more work that we do and put into something, the better it will be. Yes, to an extent, that is true, but once the fundamentals are checked, more and more is not going to help. In fact, it will make it worse. And as someone who likes to think and deduce my way into things, to logic my way into things, to categorize things, I pride myself in someone being able to do that. So that tool of the mind is something that doesn't need to be used all the time. And I think this was Abraham Maslow who said this. To a man with a hammer, everything is a nail. And that was me. I wanted everything to be categorized, to be used, to be logicked. But sometimes all I had to do was check the fundamentals. Was I taking care of my body? Was I sleeping properly? Was I getting enough food and vegetables and nutrition? Was I exercising? And when the fundamentals are in check, that's when we earn the right to think about the higher level things, the more abstract concepts. Secondly, I believe that a part of me is a perfectionist, and that's not a bad thing. Being a perfectionist is not a bad thing. Obviously, we want to be things that we make to be of high quality. We want what we provide, the value that we provide, to be good, of high quality. But at the same time, it can be a bottleneck. It can be the thing that holds us back because it has to be perfect. It has to be, because the perfectionist in us wants our output to be very high, to be of perfect quality. but that can hold us back, because if you want the thing to be perfect, and that could just become a complete bottleneck from us from doing anything at all. For example, right now I'm traveling again. I'm in Vancouver and I don't have the best equipment that I have. I wasn't able to bring everything, but I'm going to at least put out something that I can do. And going back to the perfectionist in us, I'm thinking there is a big fear. There is a fear of thinking, hey, what if the thing that I put out into the world is not the best of quality? And to summarize, not everything has to be difficult. In the age of David Goggins, of the grind culture, of waking up at 4 a.m. to do all your gym stuff and work, all that things, not everything has to be hard. In fact, it's better for things to be easy. Why would you want things to be harder for you? I understand that there are things that will be difficult that need to be done, but not everything has to be. Not everything has to be an uphill battle. Not everything has to be a challenge. Even implicit in the name of hustle culture, grind, there's a part of you that goes away, that gets ground away. And that's your energy, your discipline, your motivation. Why would you want to use up finite resources at your disposal where they could be used somewhere else that's more productive and conducive for your long-term goal and your long-term health? But that's a completely different discussion. Again, sometimes just the fundamentals need to be the ones that are looked at. Just the fundamentals. And I think this comes back to Pareto's law, or the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results will come from the 20% of your input. So we have to make sure the fundamentals are correct, are in order first. Then we're able to earn the privilege to be able to think about the more abstract and more convoluted thoughts that we have or might not have. And thank you for listening. Hopefully you've learned something from my video, and watch the next one.